choosing Glasgow, the city of my birth, as the venue for this great conference this week. And I want to begin by congratulating the World Council of Credit Unions on celebrating your 40th anniversary. An organisation that has brought morality into the discussion of money, that has brought conscience into the supply of credit, that has given a human face to banking and finance throughout this world. You should be incredibly proud of what, over these 4 decades, you have achieved as a global federation of credit unions. Look back to the 1970s. I was then about to stand for the first time to be a representative in the British Parliament. And I remember putting on my manifesto in the 1970s, trying to sell myself to my constituency. I said, this constituency needs a member of Parliament of youth and fresh ideas. And then it came to the last election, 2010, so what could I put on my manifesto? This constituency needs a member of Parliament of maturity and experience. But you know what you've managed to do over these 40 years is combine both these qualities. Freshness and fresh ideas, maturity and experience, serving an ever-expanding community of people who need your advice, need your help, and need your support. If you go into number 10 Downing Street and number 11 Downing Street in London, you will see 2 portraits as you enter the door of number 11. One is a portrait of Gladstone, who was the Prime Minister of Britain in the 19th century, and another is a portrait of Disraeli, who was also his rival as a Prime Minister and leader of the Conservative Party in the 19th century. And it's said when you went in to Downing Street and you met Mr. Gladstone, who was Prime Minister when he was Prime Minister, you would go away thinking he was the wisest person in the world. But if you went in to see Disraeli, such was his charm that you went away thinking you were the wisest person in the world. And you know, there's a point in that story because I want to congratulate you on your wisdom in being part of a movement that has made it possible for large numbers of people in every part of the world to escape poverty, to feel more secure, and to live lives that can benefit not just themselves, but their families. And let me just begin by therefore congratulating and thanking someone whom you've just heard from, Pete Creer, who has served the credit union movement for 44 years, even before the World Council of Credit Unions was formed, has been the head of this organisation for 6 years, and I believe that all of you and all of us in the world owe him a debt of gratitude. So on your behalf, let me thank him for what he's done. And I just heard the manifesto being set forward by the new head of your organisation, Brian Branch, and his desire to help people, to free them from the pain of insecurity and the pain of poverty and the pain of joblessness by making credit, making money available, helping them to save, is a manifesto not just for the present, but it is a great manifesto, as I'm going to suggest, for the future. And let me wish Brian and all the Executive Committee well in everything that they do as they build on this celebration of 40 years. Congratulations, Brian, in your new job. And let me just say, as far as the British Credit Union is concerned and all the work that is done here, I want to thank the other Peters, Peter Leonette, Peter from the Co-op, Peter March, and I want to thank, obviously, everybody who is part of the Peter March British Credit Union here. Locally, you make a difference in every area in which you operate. And I can testify from my own personal experience as a Member of Parliament in Kirkcaldy and Cowdenbeath. Credit union members now 5,000. 1,000 young people signed up as junior members, ready to plan for the future. Savings now 30% above what they were a year ago. A movement that is going from strength to strength as a result of the impetus that is being provided in the county, but also by the world and national organisations. And nationally, you've seen in Britain, and I just mentioned this as we begin to talk about the rest of the world, 175% increase in membership over the last 10 years, a 350% increase in the assets of credit unions, and the ability as a result of the Growth Fund, which I'm proud that we as a government to help you create, 175 million Growth Fund over the last 10 years, 400,000 people who have benefited as a result of the investment that has been made. And one of the astonishing facts of the success of that investment is that the money saved in what would have been crushing interest payments is almost as big as the 175 million that has been invested. People freed from loan sharks, people freed from people who would have charged exorbitant interest rates, people freed from the pressures and the harassment that comes as a result of that, and that is an enormous success of the British credit union movement, for which I praise you. But look also at what has been achieved internationally. 11 million members Latin America, 15 million in Africa, 20 million in Asia. America, of course, with 90 million members, half of the international credit union movement of 190 million, 1.2 trillion in savings in dollars. A huge achievement for which you deserve an enormous amount of credit.